This year for Nintendo was looking really good. I mean, Nintendo had a lot of stuff stacked up, and I think one major thing and one major delay was what kind of shook up this year in a negative way, and that was definitely with Breath of the Wild 2. It looked like we was going to have 4 big games to get us through the year, with Kirby in the spring, Xenoblade 3 and Splatoon 3 in the summer, and then obviously Breath of the Wild 2 in the winter. Things obviously got shaken around and switched up and swapped up, and Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed, with Splatoon 3 going into the winter season, and Xenoblade 3 being the single game to run the entire summer. And right now, unfortunately, it doesn't feel like Nintendo's doing that great this year. Especially with the cancellation of E3 as a whole, Nintendo decided to do nothing, so this summer has been pretty much a bummer. I know we're only halfway through the year, but in order to get a good kind of insight as to how good the year's been so far and how good it has a chance to finish, we have to go back and see exactly what's happened so far this year. And starting off in the spring, we had our spring Nintendo Direct, and it was okay. It was actually kind of decent, I'm not gonna lie. For it starting and ending with JRPGs, which is not a traditional Nintendo fan's dream, it still wasn't that bad. But we still got lots of cool announcements. We finally got the return of Mario Strikers Battle League, even though I don't enjoy this game anywhere near as much as the originals. But we also got Nintendo Switch Sports revealed as well, which was a pretty big deal at the time. We also got some new Splatoon 3 information, which was just salmon run again, literally like exactly the same mode. You could throw eggs now. And of course, some new information on Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which was much appreciated because we finally got the reveal of Mouthful Mode. Things were looking pretty good for the big end right now. People were just simply excited to get to the end of the year to play Breath of the Wild 2, but for the most part, we were really excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land as Kirby's first 3D adventure title, and it definitely came through with the most amazing gameplay I've ever seen with Kirby, with the mouthful transformations, the fun bosses to fight, and the super cool leveled up copy abilities. This game was without a doubt probably one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games ever, and definitely my game of the year so far. Kirby did not only have a big release, but he took complete control over the entire spring season. But with this came the slow downfall for Nintendo so far, at least in my eyes. So pretty much Advance Wars was scheduled to release very soon, but got delayed indefinitely because of ongoing conflicts, obviously with Ukraine and Russia. It made just common sense to not release a war game at that time. But still, to this day, it has not had a release date or anything. Right now, I think the rumored release date is once again next year, which is a whole year delay. And a lot of people are like, is that the smartest thing to do, is to release a game during like the 1-year anniversary of what's been going on over there? But we don't have a clue when this game is coming out right now. So that was one big blow of the spring season already. One of the big things that the Nintendo Direct in the spring ended with was new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, which blindsided everybody. Everybody was kind of expecting Mario Kart 9 by this time after 10 years of this game, but we weren't really angry. We were excited to finally get our hands back onto new tracks, even if they were old ones bringing back into new light. Now, the fan base was kind of split on this because lots of these tracks just were not brought back that well. They looked like they were just ported from Mario Kart Tour with very little assets changed and no textures at all, and this weird new art style that didn't match and blend with the other 48 tracks that the game already originally came out with. So fans were mixed on it, but overall people are super excited to finally have some more DLC and stuff to play with Mario Kart the same way Smash Bros did, as the DLC is going to continue all the way to the end of 2023, so this gives Nintendo something to have in their catalog even when there's months of no games, which people were genuinely excited about. But Switch Sports released and it was you know, I understand it wasn't a fully priced game. It was only, what, 30, 40 bucks. It's just, in my opinion, missing content. Nintendo is, you know, once again doing with this game what they do with multiple games of this type of stature, is they're releasing stuff later on, so technically the game is incomplete. Wii Sports Resort, that came out years before it on the Wii, had much more sports to choose from, so we had to wait a while before we get more things. For instance, golf isn't even coming into the fall, so who knows how many more updates we're going to be getting of this game. But at launch, it was fun for a couple of weeks, but then I think it died out amongst the community pretty fast. Then summer rolls in with a big opening with Mario Strikers Battle League. Finally the return of Mario Strikers, and once again, it's It's very average in my opinion, just simply because of the content. They're finally adding updates to the game. They just added Daisy and Shy Guy, but at launch, there's not much to play even now. There's only a couple of fields, and the fields don't make a big difference, and there's not much to do. There is a kind of cup that you can go through with computers, but besides that, there's nothing to really work your way up for. The main point of this game was the Battle League, which was playing with 4 friends all together on a team. Yeah, it doesn't really work as well on paper, where you can't actually just all 4 play on your own consoles online and play on a team. You can only do 2 consoles with 2 people on each, which is just unbelievable. So pretty much every online team I've played so far has only been like 1 or 2 people, which is just not ideally what the game was planned to be. Well, it's okay because we're getting into the meat of June. Surely Nintendo's gonna have a presentation just because E3 is canceled. Every other company's having their presentations, Nintendo's going to announce theirs. Well, weeks go by and weeks go by and weeks go by and nothing. Rumors pop up of Nintendo Directs and nothing happens, but at the very end of June, we do get one Nintendo Direct, and it's a partner showcase. Yep, the evil, dreaded showcase came back from 2020, and we never thought we'd see it again. We thought it was completely over, but it came back, giving us nothing but third-party information and nothing from Nintendo's first party. But I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that bad. I actually got some things that I'm really excited about, especially Pac-Man World Repack. That was just out of the blue and one of the craziest reveals for me. Even with some cool reveals, people still wanted to learn some more about Nintendo's first party. They wanted to see some big surprises still coming for the end of the year, and maybe some big games coming next year like we normally get at E3 time. But none of that. It was just been kind of quiet, and everything that we've gotten for any type of new game information has just been simply dropped on Twitter, meaning this summer has been kind of lackluster. Xenoblade is coming out in just over a week, which is a big deal for this summer. It's one of the big games, but still it's a very niche title, and it's not really one of those games that you would say, yep, that's a summer game. Mostly Xenoblade normally came out in like the spring or really late in the winter, like December time, so for it to be the big summer game is kind of weird this year, and it definitely is missing something big. I feel like that Splatoon 3 definitely should have released in the summer, and it just feels off without it. And we're still desperately waiting on Wave 2 of Mario Kart 8 DLC. It's been over 4 months since the first wave in the spring, and we thought we would definitely get one here in the summer, especially around E3 time, but still no word on the next wave. It's actually kind of disappointing, and people are starting to lose their patience because there's really not much to play right now. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are still probably playing Mario Strikers. Well, I don't even know if a lot of people are, but yeah, it's getting kind of boring this summer, and we definitely need something to pick us back up, especially since we never had a big presentation showing off some cool games and getting us excited again. We need something from Nintendo, and this is a perfect thing that they could literally just drop at any time. We know it's done. What are they waiting on? Then the last thing that we have already is Kirby's Dream Buffet, which is a small spin-off Kirby game coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is super cool. It's a little racing kind of obstacle course game, and HAL Labs just doesn't miss right now, man. They just continue to pump out content after content, continuously giving us some great goodies, and I love it so much. We just got Forgotten Land, and they're already giving us a spin-off Kirby game. That's super exciting. It should be a fun little thing to have this summer. Then we have the later half of the year, which is around the holiday season, and to me, I don't think there's a whole lot going on personally. There's lots of third party and stuff happening, but as far as Nintendo's first party, I think it's actually kind of lackluster right now. You already know Splatoon 3 is going to run the holiday and be pretty much a big deal, even though to me it doesn't look like it's straying too far from what it's done already, but I'm sure there's more information coming. We'll probably even get a Splatoon dedicated direct here in August, a month before the game comes out for September, and I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. I think the story mode is going to be probably a lot of fun with more lore to cover, and also including probably some DLC. You know, they already had the Octo expansion for Splatoon 2. I definitely see them doing more stuff like that for the third game. October is you got Bayonetta 3, which I know some people are excited about, but it seems like online, not a lot of people are talking about it, and it's not getting a lot of views from Nintendo's own page, and I just don't know if people care about Bayonetta as much. Even when you look at the sales of the games on the Switch, they haven't even scratched 1 million copies sold, so it very much is a niche audience, even more in my eyes than Xenoblade. So yeah, I don't really know about this one. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope comes out in October as well. I'm personally very excited about this one, but I don't know if really much of anyone else is. I know some people are, but I don't know if the general Nintendo fan base is that excited about a Ubisoft Mario spinoff and a sequel of the first one at that. But I personally am very excited about the game, but I understand a general audience probably isn't going to care as much compared to like a brand new 3D Mario adventure game. And of course, Nintendo will end the year strong, or at least the Pokemon Company will end the year strong with Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And that will be the end of our year. So overall, I think it's average. I think there is a lot of potential for this year to be really interesting. You know, obviously, I think Nintendo had to switch things up, especially with the delay of Breath of the Wild 2 once again for next year. So that obviously impacted a lot of things and even switched release dates around, probably even impacted Splatoon 3 a lot. So yeah, we got to deal with it. Things like this happen, but of course, delayed game is always a better game than not being delayed and being terrible and just having a ton of stuff missing from it. So I'm not complaining about that aspect. There still are rumors of games that could still be happening this year. For instance, Metroid Prime Remaster has been rumored time and time again. We'll see if that actually comes into fruition. That's apparently supposed to be released around November time, but that's really about it. That's all we have to go off of for the rest of the year, and I think we know everything that we're getting for the most part. Now, there could still be a big Nintendo Direct in the fall, around the September time is normally when we get it, but who knows if Nintendo's on normal terms. Maybe they are. They did have their Spring Direct. Just because they didn't have their E3 one doesn't mean anything at all, so we're just going to have to wait and see what's up Nintendo's sleeves and if they plan on giving us any more information, because they definitely do have to slowly start getting us ready for next year, especially with Breath of the Wild 2. We're going to need some more information on that game soon. But what do you guys think of this year so far? Are you guys liking this year? Are you guys not a big fan of this year? Definitely let me know in the comments down below and let me know why. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Leave a like and subscribe for more Nintendo information every single day, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you guys.